Coming up this episode, 2 more terms, a fun interview, and a really neat treasure tip. I'm Tammy Confennel. This is Collectibles Corner TV, the show for savvy collectors. Welcome to the show. A bit of news before we start. Goebel, who are the producers of Hummel, announced that there's a company that's going to be resuming the production of Hummel figurines because in June they had announced that they were discontinuing them. So this is really good news for Hummel collectors. I'm going to give you any information that I find out as I learn it, but that's all they've announced so far, that somebody's going to be taking it over and that they will be produced in Germany. The first term I have for you today is broadsheet.
A broadsheet is an unfolded sheet of paper printed on one side only. It's characterized by long vertical pages, typically 22 inches or more. The 2 versions of the broadsheets are full broadsheet, which is where the broadsheet's typically folded vertically in half so that it forms 4 pages. The front page, front and back, and the back page, front and back. The 4 pages are called a spread. Inside broadsheets are nested accordingly. And the half broadsheet. Now the half broadsheet is usually an inside page that isn't folded vertically and just includes front and back. A broadside is an advertisement or announcement printed on such paper, and these are really fun to collect.
Carte de visite is often listed as a CDV.
It's French for visiting card and also known as CDV. It's a type of photograph that became popular in Europe and the US during the 1860s and 70s. It consisted of a small paper print mounted on cardstock and became quite a bit more popular than the more fragile glass images of the ambrotype.
I hope my dog Skoda isn't making anyone dizzy. She keeps bouncing around from one side to the other. So moving on, this show is sponsored by
TIAS.com. Now, TIAS.com stands for the Internet Antique Store. They've had this site for over 14 years, and they can really be trusted because all merchants on their system offer a 7-day return policy. There's over 640,000 items for sale, and there's over 500 reputable merchants on the site, so you really know that you're dealing with experts in the field. They have a real toll-free number that you can call directly if you have any issue, and if you don't like the price, most of the dealers accept best offers, so you can tell them what you're willing to pay for it, and chances are they might accept it. So we love it. It's a fantastic place to buy that special collectible that you've been looking for. So check them out, www.tias.com. And we're going to give you an absolutely irresistible offer. If you click on the link on this page to go to TIAS and you buy something, we're going to give you 3 months free of Collectibles for the Future, which is the ultimate resource for savvy collectors. And we're also going to give you a $20 voucher for a classified ad on TIAS. And that will go either in the newsletter you can choose, or it will go on their website. The newsletter does go out to 15,000 people. You can post a want ad or a looking to sell ad. It's a really fantastic way to get the word out there. So that's a $35 value that we're giving you just to buy anything from the TIAS website, just so you try it. So really, you're getting $35 for free, so go nuts. Everything you buy, you're going to get $35 back. So we hope you'll enjoy it. We love the service, we love the site, and we think you will too.
Now it's time for a viewer question with Ask Tammy. This question comes from Michelle in Delaware. Michelle writes,
Hi Tammy, I recently bought what I think is a Hummel on eBay, but on the bottom it says made in Thailand. Have I been duped?
Well, Michelle, unless they listed it as an MI Hummel, you haven't been duped, but you don't have a Hummel from Germany.
Hummel's produced by a company called Goebel. Berta Hummel is the original name for Sister Maria Innocentia Hummel, the artist who inspired the MI Hummel figurines. Goebel started to produce these Berta Hummels in more recent years out of a factory in Thailand. They're still inspired by Hummel art, but they don't have the same care and attention given to them as the ones that came out of the factory in Germany. Make sure you pay a bit less for these if you're buying them online, but enjoy them because they still are very cute.
Michelle wins 3 months of Collectibles for the Future, the fun resource for savvy collectors. it's time for a treasure hunter tip. I'm real excited about this tip. I only learned about it about 2 weeks ago, and I've been using it ever since. It's called leapfish.com, and it's kind of like Google, but it's just so much more.
Leapfish.com is a new experience in searching the internet. It's real similar to Google, but quicker and really easy to navigate. It actually uses Google results and Yahoo and MSN, so you're still getting the same quality search results, but you also get to see news, blogs, videos, images, everything all on one page. You don't even have to hit enter. You just start typing and the results fly up. It's super quick. And there aren't annoying ads all over the place. They've made it a policy to only have 3 sponsored ads per page, so it's a really pleasant search experience.
Now, by this time, I think you realize that you don't want to miss an episode because it's totally free, and I think we have a lot of fun learning all kinds of things about collectibles. So if you haven't done so already, please sign up to receive free updates about the show. It's on this page at collectiblescornertv.com, and I'll make sure that you don't miss anything. This week, I traveled right here on Long Island, which is where we filmed this, to Oceanside to meet with Phillip Weiss Auctions, Phil we call him, and he's a great auctioneer. He's been in the business for years, and he has a lot of interesting things to say. Okay, I'm here with Phil Weiss. Now, you may recognize Phil if you've seen his shining face on the roadshow. Phil is in Oceanside, and he's been an auctioneer for how many years, Phil?
22.
22. And how did you get into this business?
I started when my dad owned one of the oldest bookstores in New York, so he grew up in a house full of books and collectibles, and just, naturally progressed into this.
I see. And I know you sell a lot of exciting things at auction. You're the collectible guy. All kinds of things come. But what is the most exciting thing that you've ever sold here?
Well, I think it was probably, we set a world's record for the highest price for a single U.S. stamp, which was $1,200,000, and that was an inverted 1869 24-cent stamp showing Columbus, and the center of the stamp is flipped upside down inverted.
And is it inverted? That wasn't on purpose, was
No,
it?
it's an accident.
It is.
There's only 3 known copies, and we auctioned one.
Now, a lot of people have stamp collections, but they're not worth anything near what your stamp went. What do you look for in a stamp collection to make something?
In order for someone to have a collection that's going to be worth any kind of real money today, they would have had to have either inherited it from someone who spent serious money or substantial money back in the 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s. In other words, you don't have a kid who bought packets of stamps from the dealers, thrown into a stockbook or into an album, and then 50 years later, presto, they're worth money.
So basically, they should have bought comic books when they went out there and spent them.
They should have, yeah, absolutely.
And Phil, for everyone who wants to bid on any of your auctions, now this is going to be airing 3 weeks from today's date. Is there an auction coming up that you would like to tell us
3
about?
weeks, sure. We have a great sale the end of March 29th and 30th, which is medical instruments, medical-related paraphernalia, World War II and World War I posters, and we have an unbelievable sports auction, comic art, comic books, and then a week later we have a tremendous collection of dolls and toy soldiers.
Great. Okay. And your website is?
www.prwauctions.com.
Here, and we're going to link to that on this page. Phil, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Karen.
Okay, bye. That wraps it up for this episode. Tune in next week where I have a nice interview planned for you, but also tune in to an upcoming episode. I'm not sure exactly when it is, when I have an interview with a company that I think you'll recognize. It's kind of a surprise. I'm Tammy Confanel. This is Collectibles Corner TV, the show for savvy collectors.